All right, once again, welcome to the Barbershop Breakdown, the sports edition. It's your man, Ross Go Squeeze Off. Well, I'm doing a follow-up on the fight. Just finished watching the Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia fight. And I did a pre-fight podcast, and now I'm doing a post-fight podcast. Pretty much exactly what I told you guys would happen. I mean, the reason this fight kind of sucked is there was so many guys he could have fought that Errol Spence could have fought that was on his level. Size-wise, speed-wise, power-wise, skill-wise, what have you. And yet somehow they paired him up against Mikey Garcia, who was an undefeated fighter, who has a huge Spanish following. So it's definitely a fight they can sell. And they probably may have done in the area of 1 million buys for this fight, pay-per-view. But anybody who really watched boxing, and that's why Vegas had Errol Spence for a truly huge favorite, and most of the experts picked Errol Spence to win this fight. And Errol Spence, to me, is no great fighter, but it's just this was a total mismatch, speed-wise, power, skill, everything. I mean, he says he wants Pacquiao next. I honestly believe Pacquiao will beat Errol Spence. I watched him he was able to keep his distance against Mikey Garcia. Didn't let Mikey Garcia get inside. Mikey Garcia does not have the movement of a Pacquiao. He's pretty stationary. He does move, but he moves pretty slow. He's a pretty good defensive fighter as far as putting his hands up, blocking shots, but the shots were just too hard here. It just wasn't a competitive fight. It was completely lopsided, one-sided. Even the scorecards were 120 to 108 on two cards, and 120 to 107 on the other judge's card. I mean, a complete mismatch. And Spence doesn't have the power that he appears to have. He hasn't fought guys that are really that good, that can take a good shot. He hit this guy with Mikey Garcia with the kitchen sink, and he couldn't put him down. Didn't really hurt him. It's not even really all that marked up. He just was. Mikey Garcia was just outclassed. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show on all the apps that people will listen to? How do we make money off of our podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing our podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with some great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. Anchor, we started almost about a year ago, and it's been a godsend. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You don't have to have any experience, and it takes you where you want to be. So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money by doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. And join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. I believe he threw 1,000 shots, and Mikey Garcia only threw like 400. And he had a constant jab going as far as Errol Spence did. I believe he will lose to a 40-plus-year-old Pacquiao. I believe he wants no part of Terrence Crawford. I believe he wants no part. I don't even think he really wants a part of Keith one-time Thurman, who is now Keith Need a Decision Thurman. So we'll see what happens next time around. If they market a good fight, I don't know. I don't believe they'll let him fight Pacquiao, and they may, because Pacquiao is now with Al Heyman. But Al Heyman has a way of making fights that benefits everybody. Like, this fight actually benefited Mikey Garcia. Even though he lost in a dominant fashion, he was dominated, but he'll be able to say, I went up two weight classes. He can go back down to his weight class. He'll probably fight Comey. He won't fight, he won't fight anybody. You know, he won't take a dangerous fight for a while. He'll fight 2 good, safe fights, and they'll be like, well, what a great guy. You know, what a tough, outstanding chance taker he was when he just took a tail whooping just now. But it doesn't hurt him because he went up in weight. And it doesn't do so much for Errol Spence, but it does enough to say he beat an undefeated champion. And now, after the fight, the broadcast, which is Al Haymon's broadcast, they make a statement like, okay, now he's clearly the best welterweight. No, he's not. He beat a guy he's supposed to beat. I don't understand where you get that from. He beat a guy that he should have beat, that if he lost, that may have put him way down in the rankings. So, let me know what you guys think. I'll probably follow up some more of this in the next coming weeks. Once again, they keep ruining boxing by making these nonsense fights. Put the best fights out there, man. Let this guy fight Pacquiao. Let this guy fight Terrence Crawford. Let this guy fight Keith One-Time Thurman or Sean Porter. Let's make some real fights with some potential that either guy can win the fight. Stop making these one-sided fights, which they constantly do, and they build it up like it's some great fight. Ad after ad after ad, when it's really not. When we guys who really know boxing know, guys and gals who really know boxing know this is going to be a crap fight from the jump. So, once again, this is your boy Roscoe Squeeze Off, the Barbershop Breakdown Show. Until next time, peace. As they say, the barbershop is the cornerstone of the community. We discuss everything under the sun while bringing you that barbershop-style convo in a podcast. It's hosted by myself, Roscoe Squeezeoff, and my co-host, Rich Blackman. Please check us out on our Facebook page at the Barbershop Breakdown Show on Facebook. You can also join our private group from that very page. If you want to text us any of your comments or ideas, you can text us at 754-CALL-BBS, which is also 754-225-5227. We look forward to all your comments, all your ideas. If you have any topics or ideas you'd like to even be on our show, text us, communicate with us on Facebook. We can make it happen. This is the Barbershop Breakdown. You can go to our Facebook page, the Barbershop Breakdown Show. You can also friend us on Facebook by searching for Barbershop Breakdown. You can also go to us on Twitter at Barbershop B Down. And then you can email us barbershopbreakdown@gmail.com.